Hey guys, welcome to Cooking with Stephen and Jacqueline. Today we're going to make scalloped potatoes for the first time, so let's sit back and enjoy the ride.
Hey guys, let's go make us some scalloped potatoes, and here's our ingredients.
You will need 2 to 3 pounds of potatoes, 3 cups of cheddar cheese, 2 to 3 cups of milk, 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 4 tablespoons of flour, 1 medium onion, quarter teaspoon of nutmeg, half teaspoon of chili flakes, 3 cloves of garlic, half cup of scallions, salt and black pepper.
Hey guys, this is my first time making scalloped potatoes, and here you can see that I already have some potatoes sliced. I'm just going to show you an example of how to get your potatoes sliced evenly using a mandolin. Slicing your potatoes evenly is very important when making this dish. This will also help to cook your potatoes evenly. And I want to stress, when using a mandolin you want to be extremely cautious because the blade is very sharp. Now that the slicing of the potatoes are nearly done, I have them soaking in a bowl of water to help to prevent them from turning brown. And this is about the thickness of slices that you want your potatoes to be. Let's get this large batch of potatoes into our water and then on to the next step. Here I have a small to medium sized onion which I'm going to slice thinly on my mandolin as well. And just when you think you're close enough to the blade, it's time to stop. Here are our thinly sliced onions, and this is what we are looking for. You just want to separate those slices and put them into a bowl and set that aside until you are ready for it. Now for making our cheese sauce. First we have to make a roux, so I'm going in with 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter and let that melt. After your butter has melted, you want to add about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic finely grated and let that saute for about 30 to 40 seconds or until you get that garlicky aroma. You want to do this on a very low heat because you don't want your garlic to burn, otherwise you'll get that bitter taste. As soon as your garlic is fragrant, it's time to add your flour. Here I'm going in with about 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Now when making a roux, you want to continue stirring this. And you want to continue doing this because if you don't, your roux will burn and you will have to start the process all over again. The object here is to cook out that flour taste and also to get the color of the roux that you want. So I'm going to continue this, but I'm going to speed it up a bit. And this looks like where I want to be. Now it's time to start adding our milk gradually. I may be using about 2 to 3 cups. You want to continue stirring this while you're doing this because you don't want to get your sauce lumpy. As soon as you see your sauce begins to thicken up like a paste, you can start to add some more milk again and continue stirring to make sure you get out all those lumps. You want to continue doing this until you get the consistency that you're looking for, which is not too thick or too thin. When you have gotten a smooth sauce, you can continue stirring and add the rest of your milk slowly because you are looking for a particular consistency.
Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and click the post notifications for more.
After you have added all your milk and you have gotten that smooth consistency, you're going to add about 2 to 3 cups of cheese gradually. The cheese I'm using is just a New Zealand cheddar cheese. You just want to continue stirring your sauce to make sure you get that cheese properly well melted and incorporated. And here I'm adding the last of the cheese. I just want to continue stirring this until it is all melted. Now I'm going to start seasoning our cheese sauce. I'm going in with a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg. Now this next one is optional. I'm going in with about a teaspoon of chili flakes. And of course, you can't forget some salt and black pepper to taste. It's all about those layers of flavor. And of course, you want to give this a good old stir and make sure that everything is properly well incorporated and all those flavors come together. Here I'm just giving it a taste to see if it needs any salt and black pepper. And yes, it needs some salt and black pepper again, so I'm just adding a touch. And while I'm at it, I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of canned pepper. You know how I like my food spicy. I'm also going in with another half a teaspoon or so of black pepper. And of course, you want to give it a good old mix to make sure all those flavors marry together. Talking about mixing, I think I'm going to switch over to a whisk. You want to continue whisking this until you get that consistency that you're looking for in your cheese sauce. Now that you have gotten tired of whisking, you can take your spoon and see if you have gotten that thickness of that cheese sauce that you're looking for. Well folks, it looks like we're there, because by the time this sauce cools down, it will begin to get more thick. Now that you have gotten your sauce to the thickness that you want, it's time to start building our scalloped potatoes, and here you can see how thick and creamy that cheese sauce is. You want to take half of your beautiful cheese sauce and pour it all over those potatoes. And now it's time to get that cheesy goodness all in between those potato slices, so you want to give it a good old mix. And when you have mixed your potatoes with the cheese sauce, add the last batch and continue to mix until you get that cheese sauce properly well coated all over those potato slices. So guys, remember this is my first time making scalloped potatoes, so I have found that there are many different ways, but this seems to be the easiest of them all. Now that our potatoes is all properly mixed up with our cheese sauce, it is now time to add the first layer of potato to our aluminum foil baking pan, which I greased up properly. Well, by the way guys, you want to make sure you have your oven preheating at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, you want to take your spoon and level out your first layer of potatoes evenly. After doing that, you want to take some of your thinly sliced onions and sprinkle it over that first layer. After doing that, I'm also going to take some of my green onions and do the same with it as well. Well, the green onions are done. It's time to add another layer of our cheesy potatoes. And of course, you want to take your spoon and level off those potatoes as evenly as possible. And repeat the same process with your thinly sliced onions and green onions or scallions, or whichever way you call them. And down goes the last of our green onions, and here's a bird's eye view of how our scalloped potatoes are looking so far. I hope I'm doing a fine job at this though. Well, it's time to add the last of our potatoes, and when doing this you also want to do the same thing as before. Make sure and level off your potatoes as evenly as possible. And last but not least, you want to sprinkle some of that cheddar cheese all over those potatoes, and that is your final layer. Well, it looks like everything seems to be coming along nicely here guys. For the next step, you want to take a piece of aluminum foil and cover your pan tightly. This will help to allow your potatoes to cook and also to prevent your cheese from getting dark too fast. After you have covered it down tightly, you want to put this into a 350 degree oven and let it bake for at least 1 hour. Well, in the miracle of time, 1 hour has gone by, so it is time to remove our foil. And guys, please be careful when removing the foil because there's a lot of steam underneath there and you don't want to get burnt by steam. Trust me, ask me how I know. Oh, and of course, we have got to sprinkle some bacon that I have fried up earlier on. I did not show this on camera because I guess all of you all know how to fry bacon by now. In case you are wondering, this is about 4 strips of bacon that I fried up and just gave a rough chop after. Now that our bacon is all sprinkled, it is time to get this back into the oven and let it bake for another 30 to 40 minutes. And here you can see I have an extra pair of hands helping me as I fight along with this kitchen towel. Well, 40 minutes has gone by, a couple seconds for you guys. We're going to let this cool down so we can get a couple slices. So hold on, fasten your seatbelts and let's get ready for a drive-by. Let's go!
Well boys and girls, here's our delicious scalloped potatoes and it was so tasty. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like, comment and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the post notifications for more videos. See you all on our next cooking journey, and we're out until next time.